All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the three pieces that we have in front of us and see if we can determine some strengths that we see. And remembering that a strength is only a strength if we see it in 2 or more work samples. Okay, so what did you see?
I saw that the 3 work samples I had, they all began with the topic sentence.
I saw that as well. Anybody else notice that the topic sentence
Yes.
was a strength?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So we can write topic sentence. Okay, what else?
2 of the papers that I had actually used transition words.
I had that as well. I saw it in 2
I
of
had
I
mine.
saw it
right.
in all 3 of mine.
Okay.
And I had them too.
Okay, so we're all in agreement that
Yeah.
transition words were a strength?
And all of mine had the correct letter format.
Yes.
Yes. same
Mine
here.
did not. 2 of mine, well, they had the correct letter format, but there were pieces of it that were out of place, like the signature, closing. Did you all see that, or your friendly letter
All
format?
3
Mine
of
was
mine were
All right,
good.
so we'll go ahead and write that as a strength.
Yeah, I think the only thing that was missing off some of that in the formats was some of the punctuations.
Correct.
But other than that, they did follow it.
One of mine was missing a date, but that was the only part of the format.
Okay,
I noticed pretty much standard, we had complete sentences for the most part. I had 2 out of 3 that had complete sentences.
I did as well.
Yes.
Yes.
I did not. Mine had run-on sentences.
In more than 2 of yours?
Yes.
So are you comfortable with us writing that down as a strength?
Yes.
Okay. I also thought that their sight words, that they did a good job attending to their sight words and
Yes.
spelling those correctly.
Correct.
Did you notice that, Michelle, sight
Yes.
words? Okay.
Yeah.
And all 3 of mine indented the first word for their letter.
I didn't look at that.
2 out of 3 on mine.
Only 1 out of the 3.
All 3 of mine intended.
Okay, so we could say that indention is a strength as well. What about weaknesses? What did you notice that were not so strong?
Some of subject-verb agreement.
Did anybody else notice subject-verb agreement
Yes.
as a weakness?
Yes.
Yes.
Not on mine, but I can go along with it.
Okay.
One thing, and this is something that, we would notice quite a bit, especially on my grade level, is that mine tend to ramble after the topic sentence. I didn't get, very crisp details. They would just sort of ramble on about different things. So I think being able to have details to support that topic sentence needs to be worked on.
I noticed that in all 3 of mine, that there was a detail, but then there wasn't a lot of detail about the detail. So they would just state it, but then they wouldn't elaborate at all. Did you notice that
Yes,
too?
in all
Okay.
3 of them.
And with mine, they had the detail, but their elaboration did not relate to the detail. It just was another sentence.
So a completely separate sentence?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's what I noticed about the rambling. After that clear topic sentence, there might be one sentence that goes with that deep topic sentence, but after that, it's almost like they weren't sure what to write after that.
Okay. But if we go back to the rubric, there really isn't anything that says or mentions
There's,
details, right?
write some sentences focused on the topic is what I think there. Then in the composing, organizes sentences in a logical sequence, elaborates using details under the composing.
To get the 3,
Yeah.
okay.
So there's both organizes both sentences in a logical order.
Okay, so organization of sentences would be another weakness, did you see?
Yes.
Okay. Any other weaknesses that you noticed?
Mine don't have a lot of adjectives that describe what they're talking about. It's just very plain. There's no oomph about any of the things that they're talking about.
I noticed that too. Anybody else? Deb, did you notice a lack of adjectives?
I did.
Okay. Emily?
Yes, definitely.
Anything else that we think needs improvement?
While I noticed that they had a good topic sentence, conclusions were not, in other words, it was almost like we had a detail and chop, that's the end of the letter.
Anybody else notice conclusions? Were we?
Mine were good, finally, finally, and then this one had a wonderful closing statement, so my three were good.
Two of mine were very good, they ended with questions.
I had 1 out of 3, so maybe y'all.
Yeah, I only had 1 out of 3 also, the other 2 are not.
Okay, so let's take conclusions off then as a weakness. One of the things that I noticed is that the sentences seemed choppy to me. They would say something like, this is why, and end. There wasn't a lot of elaboration, but it just seemed that the sentence felt broken up to me. Did anybody else see that? I saw that in 2 of mine.